look at a luthier that flies under the radar and lives mere minutes from Tony's Acoustic Challenge headquarters. I'm going to talk to you about trumpets, and I'm going to step up on my soapbox for just a little bit. And of course, the second iteration of Bourbon versus Scotch begins. All that and more right after this. The Acoustic Tuesday show is brought to you by Tony'sAcousticChallenge.com. Welcome to another rousing rendition of Acoustic Tuesday, and happy Acoustic Tuesday to you. And Acoustic Tuesday wouldn't be Acoustic Tuesday if I wasn't joined with Noah Jacob Heckman Jr., the first, and Lev Zocules, the man with the technical plan.
Hello.
I refer to him as Lev Zocules because sometimes I just want to make him a Greek god. You know, not like a statue kind of a way, but you get the idea. The name. Anyways, let's jump in today's list of acoustic guitar geekiness. But actually, before we do that, I've got 5 killer items for you. Before we do that, I actually have a trivia question for you, and this one holds great historical significance. And if you consider yourself a guitar geek, it's right up your alley. So the question is this. Here's what to ponder. In the year 1935, how many total 14-fret herringbone D28 models did Martin guitars make? One more time. In the year 1935, how many total 14-fret herringbone D28 models did Martin guitars make? I'm looking for production totals here. How many models did they make in that particular year, 1935? Go ahead and ponder that. And let's dive into the Guitar Geek list for this week. Starting at number 5, this is a luthier that you need to be aware of. Right now, there are so many small bench luthiers out there in every state, in every nook and cranny, but one that surprises me is right here, just west of Bozeman, Montana. Dan Roberts lives in Belgrade, and he started his career at Flatiron/Gibson, and then moved to Santa Cruz Guitar Company, and now he has his own small shop. And let me tell you, the instruments he makes are truly, truly amazing. Dan's philosophy is one that is really a player-centric, artist-centric. You know, the part of the reason he likes this small shop environment is because he can talk to the musician and decide and discuss what they want out of the instrument, and then Dan can go and build it. His reverence for tone woods, his reverence for the treatment of tone woods is top-notch. He tries to match the exact tone wood with the exact tone that the player is describing, and he voices his tops. His attention to detail is unreal. My first encounter with Dan was seeing one of his octave mandolins, guitar-bodied octave mandolins, being played by a friend of mine, Tom Murphy. And then that kind of brought me into this circle, this awareness of Dan Roberts' instruments. Since then, I've seen some of his Gibson-inspired guitars, some of his Martin kind of bluegrass dread-inspired guitars. And I use the word inspired here because I'm talking about what he uses as a base for these models. By no means are these exact copies. These instruments are truly one of a kind. And luckily enough, we can get a little bit of a glimpse inside of Dan Roberts' shop. Matt Traeger created this wonderful video that I'm going to show you a short clip of here that gives you a little bit of the inside Guitar Geek visual gems that you're going to find in Dan's shop. Let's have a look.
I've always loved all types of woodworking, and I loved sculpture in college and everything, but I had a real fascination with instruments. You know, I sang and played trumpet and always liked music. I thought I couldn't play the guitar because I'd gotten a cheap cardboard Roy Rogers guitar with 5 strings out of tune for Christmas one year, and just was convinced that I couldn't play guitar. But got this opportunity to build for Flatiron, and I never looked back. It was like I finally found what I was meant to do.
Now keep in mind, that's just a short clip, a short section of that video. The entire video is about 6 minutes or so long, and it delves into a little bit of Dan's philosophy, and of course you get some killer shots of him working on guitars. So make sure to check that full clip out. You'll see a link in the description below, and of course a link to Dan's website as well. Which brings me to Guitar Geek item number 4. Quite possibly the future of flight cases, maybe making flying with your guitars easier? I don't know. A quick disclaimer. This product that I'm about to share with you, I have not had hands-on experience with, but I discovered it and it piqued my curiosity. And the product I'm referring to is Vicesnut flight cases. Again, Vicesnut. You can look at the name and assume other ways of pronunciation, but after some research, it is indeed Vicesnut. And what's cool about these cases is that they come in a myriad of colors. They're very lightweight. And the design is truly amazing. And I want to give a huge shout out and a big thank you to Elderly Instruments. You're going to see a video rolling here in a second, and it's taken from them because it shows the Vicesnut case in all of its glory. It shows the exterior, it shows the really cool twisting locks that they have. Not a standard guitar latch, a twisting lock, which is great for flying because it won't pop open. And the coolest part of this case is that in the neck compartment of the case, there is a strapping system that allows you to adjust the interior of the case to variations in size of the instrument, whatever guitar you're putting in there. Now, I'm not saying you can use this case for a dreadnought and then a small body parlor guitar, but let's say you have a parlor guitar, 12-fret parlor guitar, and say a single O or something like that. This case will actually adjust its interior padding to accommodate that guitar, still offering the full kind of flight case protection. So often when you order a flight case, it's custom to one instrument, therefore it only has one use. So if you have more than one guitar, you have to get a bunch of different flight cases. Not the case with Vicesnut cases. So if you want to explore that any further, please check out the video link in the description and of course their website. The video link is again courtesy of Elderly Instruments. The fellow that describes the case does a great job of showing off the case and all of its really cool features. And of course, if you're interested in buying the case, there's going to be a link in the description as well, which will take you to Elderly Instruments. They have a bunch in stock right now, and those folks are top notch. I've ordered a bunch of stuff from them, and I've always been treated absolutely wonderfully. So cheers to those guys, and make sure to check out Vicesnut cases. Now, I've got a bunch more Guitar Geek items in store, but you're probably curious as to what I'm listening to this week, which actually is Guitar Geek item number 3. And you guys, if you've seen the Acoustic Tuesday show so far, you know that I'm a sucker for singer-songwriters. I've featured a couple different ones on the program, and this week is really no different. So I want to give a huge shout-out to Jeffrey Foucault, which is who I'm listening to this week. In particular, his newest studio album, Salt as Wolves, and on that album is a tune called Slow Talker, which I absolutely love. Jeffrey Foucault's from the Midwest. He paints really cool, vivid pictures with his words. He's a wonderful, wonderful guitar player. Now, I want a special note here. This album is not full-blown acoustic. It's got some electric guitar, but it's okay, because the focus here is the songwriting. It's truly wonderful. In fact, there's a little clip here that I want to share with you that is him playing Slow Talker with a special guest who I think you'll actually recognize. So go ahead and have a look at this performance.
Say it, there's one prayer, if you can pray it, each word is the same. You scarecrow, you got your collar turned up cool. Keep on rocking, you know I'm right behind you. And there's one note, if you can play it. There's one word, if you can say it. There's one prayer, if you can pray it.
I hope you enjoyed that performance. performance. Again, that was Jeffrey Foucault playing the tune Slow Talker off of his newest studio album, Salt as Wolves. Now, a couple things to note in that video. Number one, Jeffrey's awesome. His guitar is amazing. It's kind of a later, or rather early 40s J45. That's kind of a Frankenstein guitar. It sounds awesome. I actually have had a chance to play that guitar. Billy Conway, his percussionist, is unreal, as you could tell in that performance. And of course, they were joined by none other than Caitlin Canty, who was featured on a previous episode of Acoustic Tuesday. So I'd like to just take a moment and celebrate the full circleness of that. Full circleness.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Love it. So I wanna actually have a chat with Noah here in a second, but remember, I've got a couple more Guitar Geek items coming up that I want you to be aware of. One that will actually impact your life significantly. But before we do that, speaking of life impacts, we've got some small wins. Is that correct, Noah?
Always got the small wins, Tony.
All
I'm
right,
ready.
let's have a look.
All right, Josh. I recently got my first guitar at the tender age of 37, and I've learned my first song and played it for my parents. Playing in front of an audience is harder than I expected. I learned Why Me Lord by Chris Christopherson.
Cool.
Hashtag small win there. Oh, and check out the band Shovels and Rope. They are Southern White Stripes. They did a killer cover of Patience by Guns N' Roses with the Milk Carton Kids.
Nice work, Josh. Thanks for sharing.
All right, Christopher. Small win. I feel like it's a big win. 180 beats per minute. So stoked.
That's killer. Awesome job.
And Steve, I love this. A little bit of humor here. He writes, fascinating. Subscribed. My junkie ex-roommate ran off with my D28S, and I haven't been the same since.
Oh my gosh. Well, I would take the subscription as a small win for sure.
Totally.
For sure. And hopefully the D28S will come back full circle. Speaking of D28, that's our trivia question for today. Again, for those of you who may have missed the trivia question, in the year 1935, how many total 14-fret herringbone D28 models did Martin produce? Well, of course, we'll get to that answer. But are those? Is that the full small wins report? No,
That's it for today.
I didn't want to cut you off. I got excited.
Cut me off anytime.
Okay. Well, I know we still have to play darts, but I've got some things coming up here that you're going to want to perk your ears up, if you will. Maybe you might even say that you would need an ear trumpet, which was one of those old things that looked like a funnel that went into your ear. Anyways, that was my sad attempt at a segue into introducing you to ear trumpet microphones. Now, this is Guitar Geek item number 2, and I'm super pumped about this because I'm a geek. I'm a self-admitted guitar geek, and I go on YouTube and I go down the rabbit hole of watching one performance after the next. And one of the common threads in all these different performances that I see is these beautiful microphones. They look like they're from, let's say, the 20s, 30s, 40s. They're from yesteryear, if you will. Ear trumpet microphones are stunningly beautiful, and the sound that they create, the sound that they replicate, is equally beautiful. I've seen these in action live. I saw the Milk Carton Kids with Caitlin Canty, as a matter of fact. They both used ear trumpet microphones, in particular the Edwina model. I saw a friend of mine play up at Big Sky, which is a resort just south of Bozeman, and he used the Louise model, which that was my first actual introduction to the ear trumpet microphones, and they're just amazing. For a single microphone, they have a crystalline quality. They represent both the voice and the instrument incredibly well, but of course, it's not enough to hear me talk about it because I can use any descriptor that I can, and it just won't do it justice. So I actually have a performance by the band High Plains Jamboree using ear trumpet microphones for you to check out, and I actually have a special connection to this performance. I'll tell you about that after. Go ahead and have a look at this performance again by High Plains Jamboree using ear trumpet microphones.
Rosie, last time I saw you, you were sitting by the stream with your blonde hair all around you and a halo like a queen. And I know that you don't want me, but I'll have you in my dreams, Rosie. Rosie, I heard you calling from outside my hotel room, but I pulled the shade and there's nothing but that cold Kentucky moon. Rosie, you'll catch catch your death in nothing but that cotton gown. Come in here where it's warm and let me lay your body down. Rosie, I thought I saw you on the bridge to Morgantown. You were standing by the river and I was afraid that you might drown. But when I tried to save you, you were nowhere to be found, Rosie.
That was High Plains Jamboree playing their tune Rosine using ear trumpet microphones. Now, there's a special connection I have to that video. Number one, I just think it's an awesome tune. Kudos to the folks in High Plains Jamboree. But I also feel I should give a shout out to Simon Flory, their bass player, who actually made me aware of ear trumpet microphones. He has I think it's the model, I think it's called the Mabel. It's actually an upright bass condenser microphone that sits right on the bass, right beneath the bass bridge. Very, very cool model. But anyways, Simon's actually the first person I ever played a live gig with back in Chicago when I worked there. So thanks, Simon, for getting me into playing and also for sharing the ear trumpet microphone good news with me. Which brings me to Guitar Geek item number 1, but by no means is that the close of the show. We've got some special things in store for you still. But Guitar Geek item number 1 is, well, let's call it a bit of a rant. I want you to know, I'm going to make a statement, a rather bold statement. I want you to not master the guitar. Quit worrying about mastering the guitar. Mastering the guitar really delays any sense of gratification, any sense of joy, because you're essentially delaying that gratification and joy for a certain time down the road when you're good enough to receive it. And really, with mastering the guitar, there's a certain set of expectations that comes along with it. And if we know anything about expectations, that's where fun goes to die. So rather than focus on mastering the guitar, I would urge you, challenge you to enjoy daily progress. Enjoy daily fun with your guitar. Really sink into that time with your guitar and enjoy it. Have fun with it. Smile. Feel good about playing instead of waiting until you master. Now, I just released a video that shares with you 3 steps so that you can actually start to have daily progress, actually start to have fun now with your guitar. Again, I just released this video, and it's something I want you to check out. The soapbox rant is a little bit more detailed, maybe a little bit more put together. This is something I'm very passionate about, and me doing another rant won't do it justice because we captured a real good one. So go ahead and click the link in the description and make sure to check that out. I think it offers some really great perspective on why you shouldn't master the guitar, but rather than it just being a straight ahead rant, it's going to give you steps so that you can actually start having fun and, again, enjoy daily progress with your instrument. So go ahead and check that out. And as usual, the links for everything that I've discussed so far in the show will be in the description, from Jeffrey Foucault's album to Daniel Roberts' website. The whole deal, all the Guitar Geek items will be in the description. Now, Noah,
Tony,
I still have some things. I want to give the answer to the trivia question, of course, and I want to give you guys a sneak peek into what will happen next week on Acoustic Tuesday. But this Acoustic Tuesday episode is still raging. And one of the other things that's still raging is a certain battle that we have going. A dart battle, if you will.
Oh, I will.
To settle the score of Bourbon versus Scotch.
Well, you won the first round.
I did. I feel good, but I'm not here to boast. I'm not here to brag. We're on to the second iteration of the Bourbon versus Scotch war, and just so that everybody's on the same page, Noah, can you please tell everybody how it works?
Very simple. You are a bourbon man. I'm a Scotch guy. If you win our dart battle, I have to buy a bottle of bourbon for you and I to share together. If I win the dart battle, you have to buy a bottle of Scotch for you and I to share.
Well, I appreciate that setup. It was very good. And with that being said, let's play some darts.
Okay, Noah, the dart cam is on. And you can go ahead and... Oh, my goodness. All right.
That's a good throw. Noah received an 18. He received an 18. It was a good throw. It was kind of more of a lobbing attempt. But I'd like to say that your form is improving.
I think so. Of course, the only thing that's going through my head right now is you're going to throw a 20. I know it. I can feel it.
Well, I'm stretched out and winded up.
Okay, so, Tony, what is Noah's score currently?
Noah's currently at an 18.
Okay.
Here on the first.
The dart cam is on. Go ahead and take your throw. Oh! I like where this is going.
That was a good throw, Tony.
Thanks, Noah. I really appreciate that.
You did good.
Quick update. Noah is currently at an 18, and I threw a measly 5. So
Not measly. 5 is good.
it's better than the one you threw that one time.
Well, 5 is right next to 20.
Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate that. This puts, after week 1, Scotch is in the lead, 18-5. Now, this is a 4-week battle, so I like to think that there's still room for Bourbon to make a comeback, but this is where it sits after 1 week, and of course, you have to tune in to keep following the dart battle. Noah,
Tony,
I want to know what everybody thinks.
do you?
Always. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to invite you to please leave a comment on the show. What'd you love about it? Did you make a new discovery? Did you go listen to Jeffrey Foucault's music and then that leads you down a road to find other music? Please share it in the comments below. One of the things I've noticed about the Acoustic Tuesday viewership, if you will, is that you guys are super helpful to one another, and you guys totally rock. I've seen some great conversations. And of course, if you like bourbon or you like scotch, you can leave your favorite in the comments as well. That is welcome. And speaking of comments, Noah, I still have this trivia question looming over my head, but tell us what folks are saying from some past episodes.
Sure. Well, this is Acoustic Tuesday number 6, is it not?
I believe that is correct.
And so I'm doing something different today.
Okay.
I'm going way back to episode 1.
Awesome.
Okay, and thought I'd highlight a comment from our first episode. Besides, if I was to look at the last couple episodes, all I'd be doing is talking about how people love scotch. So I would like to read a comment from Kate that she posted on our first episode. And Kate says, reminiscent of old-timey radio and early TV variety. Think Arthur Godfrey to Johnny Carson, a one-man and friends show, but with a twist, all things acoustic. The formula of humor, trivia, as well as training, sharing top artists, hardware info, how-to, and interaction with your personable crew, and audience participation, as in the guitar parties and other live events that you do. Well, you've got a winner here. So, folks, sit back on Tuesdays with a highball glass of your favorite beverage. I'm with you, Noah. And take a ride on the best 25 minutes on YouTube. Thanks, Tony, Noah, and Levi. It's a winner.
I like to.
Awesome.
This show is actually brought to you by Kate and her comment. So thank you, Kate. No, seriously, thank you, Kate. That was a wonderful comment. What else you got, Noah?
That's it for today.
Okay,
that was
awesome.
a long one. And,
Yeah.
well, okay, just a bunch of scotch stuff and how great it is. But
Well, hopefully you do your scotch drinkers proud.
yeah.
I mean, so far, so good.
I thought it was fitting that I let you win the first round, being the first one. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Neat.
Think about what scotch you're going to buy me.
I will certainly take recommendations, so please, again, leave those in the comments if you think I'm going to lose and need to buy Noah a bottle of scotch. Now, on to the trivia quiz answer. I'm excited about this one. This is right up my alley. I love old guitars. I love Martin guitars. I love all guitars. But this question, I think, is one that you'll find the answer pretty astounding. So, again, the question. In the year 1935, how many total 14-fret herringbone D28 models did Martin produce? Well, the answer was 81. In the year 1935, Martin Guitars made 81 14-fret model D28s. Now, here's another piece of trivia that I just wanted to tack on. In that same year, in 1935, you could go out to your local music store and purchase a D28 for the princely sum of $100.
Wow.
A far cry of what you would buy a 1935 D28 for today. But I love this question because I think it offers some great insight into why a 1935 D28, a vintage 1935 D28, is number one so sought after, but why the price is what it is. There were only 81 made. I think it's pretty darn cool. And something else that I think is cool is Acoustic Tuesday. And of course, you can catch Acoustic Tuesday every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. You can catch it on YouTube or Facebook. And little birdie told me that a podcast version is coming up as well. So make sure to keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. And of course, I got to give you a little glimpse into what next week's Acoustic Tuesday is going to hold. We're going to have a look at some custom, dare I say, curious guitar case art. I'm going to share with you my favorite clip-on guitar tuner because of the way it's built and some other reasons that I'll share with you. And I want you to know about an absolutely red-hot acoustic guitar store in Arizona. This place is like a guitar geek's dream. You're going to have to watch, you're going to have to tune in to check it out. You will be very surprised and I think start, dare I say, infatuation with it. So from all of us here at Tony's Acoustic Challenge Studios, Levi the man with the technical plan, Noah Jacob Heckman Jr., the Scotch lover the first, tried to add another thing there. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. Happy Acoustic Tuesday from us to you, and of course have a great week, and of course we'll see you next week on Acoustic Tuesday show. Again, that's at 10 a.m. Mountain Time on YouTube or Facebook, and the podcast coming soon. Thanks again for joining. Have a great rest of the day.
Rosie, I thought I saw you on the bridge to Morgan.